Sorry about the noise, but there's a reason for that, because we want to demonstrate a great street tree and an underused street tree called Gymnocladus dioecus, the Kentucky coffee tree. This tree behind me is about 3.5 inches in diameter, as how we measure nursery stock at about 6 inches off the ground, as opposed to mature trees, which are measured at diameter at breast height. So this is a 3.5 to 4 inch Kentucky coffee tree that was planted about 5 years ago and has at least tripled in overall size, at least. I would say much more than that in terms of its overall biomass, because it literally had just a few branches when it first went in. Now it's branched out very nicely and needs to be pruned to be trained to a central leader form. Anyway, here's the thing about the Kentucky coffee tree. It's very adaptive. It doesn't mind if the soil is acidic, alkaline, especially compaction, pollution. All of these things are something that it's able to tolerate. It's not a tree that you see growing native in the Northeast. It's more of a southern tree and a Midwestern tree, but it's very adaptive, like I say. So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of it in streetscapes. It is leguminous, it's a legume, so it's part of the pea family. That's part of why it's so adaptive, because it's able to pull atmospheric nitrogen right out of the air to feed itself, if you will, and some of that it returns to the soil so it can improve the soil. Quite like other leguminous trees, the honey locust, the black locust, they share this characteristic of having a compound leaf. Lots of little leaflets coming off of a shared petiole. You can grind the beans and make coffee. I have not done so myself, but I've heard it's not like the real thing. That's why it was named that, because the beans reminded the settlers of the coffee bean. The beans are quite like the honey locust or the black locust pod that falls off on the ground, which is part of why a lot of people don't love this tree. But personally, that's a small price to pay for its adaptivity and the awesome shade that it casts and its tolerance of urban conditions. So the Kentucky coffee tree, Gymnocladus dioecus, and thanks for your interest. I'm going to show you a mature specimen here once I get to the other side of town. And that is the mature Gymnocladus dioecus, a Kentucky coffee tree that is probably 25 to 30 inches in diameter. I haven't measured it, but I wasn't even aware this tree was here until maybe 6 or 8 years ago. I was taking a walk, and my wife and I discovered this tree. Again, sorry about the noise, but it's a great street tree. Here it is, located next to a sidewalk up on high ground, very well drained, full sun, a lot of competition from grass, a lot of compaction from grass. Tree's happy. Again, it's a legume, it's a bean tree, it's a bean producer, very adaptive and tolerant of a lot of different pretty stressful conditions. So this one, I wish I knew the history about it. I want to learn more about how it got here and how long it's been here exactly. My guess is it's 100 years old, but we'll learn more about that eventually. But it's a great example of a mature specimen here in Western New England, one of the few that I have seen.